Om Ponmudishwaraya Namaha.
And when he was there were lots and lots of people who came to know about his presence, and they started visiting him. And initially, they were allowed only on Sundays to see Swamiji from morning till evening. And then it became to Saturdays and Sundays. And later, they were allowed to visit him on Paurnami days and Amavasya days as well. And devotees and believers came from far and wide, from all over the country and also from abroad. And one such very, very important visitor was Swami Sachidananda from Yogaville, from West Virginia, the USA. He had come with a lot of his American disciples, and he said that he had known about Swamiji, that his intuition and his spiritual prowess told him that there was a Mahan in this direction, in this place. And so he inquired and arrived in Puravipalayam Palace with a lot of his American disciples, and he literally spent the whole day with Swamiji. And after having lunch, he came down to the palace, he came inside to the Nalakattu, and there we had a big wooden swing angel on which he sat, and he narrated to us his belief in Swamiji and also explained what a great Mahan and spiritual leader he was. And he had all of us, whole family, and all his American disciples listening to him. And that is when we realized what was the spiritual prowess of Swamiji. Till then, I was only treating him like an embodiment of the glorified grandfather. After Swamiji moved to Puravipalayam Palace, my dad expressed his desire to see Swamiji. And so he informed his friend, Mr. Giri Gounder. And Giri Gounder said he would also like to meet Swamiji. So both of them would come and visit Swamiji and get his blessings every Sunday. And after the first Sunday, they would say, "Come again next Sunday," or "Come on Amavasya day." And he would ask my dad, but he used to ask him to bring fried fish. And Swamiji used to love the fried fish. And he would ask Giri Gounder to get him chicken biryani. And he was very fond of these two dishes. And every Sunday they would come with fried fish and chicken biryani and feed him, which Swamiji relished very much. But my mother used to visit Swamiji more often, and she would spend a lot of time with Swamiji and sit by his side. And he would affectionately call her Amini and chat and laugh with her as if she was his own daughter. And one such visit by my father in Giri Gounder, there was another lady from Pollachi who had come to seek Swamiji's blessings for her husband who was critically ill from cancer. And the doctors had said that he was in the last stage of cancer and that he may not survive very long. So when my dad and Giri Gounder arrived, Swamiji called that lady and told her, "Take off your tali kaltide." And that lady, without hesitation, she had so much faith and belief in Swamiji, she just removed her tali and gave it to Swamiji, which no ordinary Hindu lady would do in the normal pose. So Swamiji took the tali, just blessed it, and he called my dad and he said, "Quanto tata ingava." My dad went to him and he gave the tali to him and he said, "Idu nee vechidu, nee eduthu po." Then my dad was shocked. He said, "How can I, Swamiji, take somebody else's tali with me?" He said, "Illa, nee eduthu po. Na cholren." And that was it. So my dad and Giri Gounder came back with the tali. and my dad kept it in the cupboard safely and didn't know what to do. So every time they visited Swamiji, and they would ask him what to do with the thali. Then after 2 weeks, he'll tell my dad, "நீ இங்க ஒரு counter கட்ட கொடுத்துடு." So then my dad would pass it on to Giri Gounder. This went on for a few months, where it kept moving from my dad to Giri Gounder's hands. Then on one Amavasya day, when they went to see Swamiji, Swamiji told them, "Vantu Tata, the Amma var sollu. Paurnamika the Amma var sollu." So then Giri Gounder took it upon himself to send a message to the lady to ask her to come and see Swamiji on Paurnami day. And then Swamiji said, "Tali Kuntva." Went to my dad. So on the next Paurnami day, my dad and Giri Gounder took the tali, went to see Swamiji, and found the lady also there sitting at Swamiji's feet. That was when Swamiji said, "Kurtadu." So my dad very reverently gave the tali to Swamiji, and Swamiji gave it to that lady. And then she took it from Swamiji well peacefully, and he said to let it go. So then she went back, and then later, when Mr. Giri Gounder kept in touch with her and inquired about how her husband was, she was so happy to announce that, to their utter surprise and disbelief, that when he went again for a checkup to the hospital, the doctors said that they were astonished to find that his cancer cells had disappeared completely. That was the divine grace of Kodi.
This was in which year, ma'am? Early 1970s?
No, before that, before my mother died, this was 67 maybe.
So in 67, doctors trying to research and find out, and then announcing that the cells have disappeared. It's a sheer grace.
Every vacation of mine during my college days, I would eagerly wait to go to Puravipalayam to spend a lot of time with Kodi Tata, which I loved to do. On one such occasion, when I was there for my vacation, as usual, when I went there in the morning to give his breakfast along with my aunt, Swarnagandhi Ammal, we found that his room door was closed. We stood outside and called and called and called, but Swamiji did not answer, nor did he get up and come and open the door. Then again in the afternoon, when we went to give him lunch, the same thing. The door did not open and no answer. Same thing happened in the night. And to our utter surprise, this went on for many, many days, almost 10 days. Swamiji never opened the door, he never answered, and he never came out, and we never saw him. Then the 10th day, suddenly he opened the door and he came out. And then when we met him and asked him, "Swamiji, what happened? Where were you?" He said, "I was in Rishikesh. We were doing yagna. There were a lot of other sadhus and siddhis, and we were all doing yagna at Rishikesh." And he turned around and asked me, "Tata, have you been to Rishikesh?" I said, "No, Swamiji, how will I get an opportunity to go to Rishikesh? I've never been to Rishikesh." And then I laughed and joked with him and said, "Come on, Tata, don't bluff. You never went to Rishikesh. How can you go to Rishikesh when you were here in Puravipalayam?" He just laughed and he said, "உனக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாது தாத்தா, நீ சும்மா இரு, போய் படு." And he would ask me to go and lie on his cot inside his room. This used to happen whenever I used to tease him a lot, and he used to get exasperated with me. Then he would say, "நீ சும்மா இரு, போய் அங்க படு." And then only when he gives permission, I can get up from his bed and come out and go down. And after a month or so, there were some devotees of Swamiji who had come to visit him. And then they said that they had met some sadhus who had gone to Rishikesh for the annual puja and yagna. And they gave us a very shocking news. They said that the sadhus whom they met had mentioned that Swamiji was there for those 10 days participating in the yagna that took place in Rishikesh. So that was Swamiji who had practiced his prowess of astral travel, leaving his body behind in Puravipalayam Palace while he was there in mind and soul in Rishikesh.